We were the seeds. Seeds culture. Do a little flute music again, and some traditional lessons. Can't breathe up here. Mr. Box, recognize? Mr. Box made this beautiful vest. Tell you a quick lesson about a turtle and a frog. Well, the turtle and the frog, they were sitting on a lake, talking and gossiping as turtles and frogs do. Well, the turtle looked in the sky and he see these big rain clouds coming towards him, and he said, "You know, I think it's going to rain." And the frog said, "I know it's going to rain. I felt some raindrops on my back." Well, the turtle says, "You know, I don't want to catch cold. I don't want to get all wet." And the frog said, "Oh, me either." So they both went home and they jumped in the lake. What? My brother and my uncle were out walking around Washington, happened to go there and do some petitioning. They got a little hungry and they saw a food vendor out there on the street selling some street food. So my brother and my uncle, they hardly ever get to go to the city. So this was all new to them. So they went over and got something to eat, and the vendor gave them their food, and they looked at each other, and they looked at the vendor, and they looked at the food, and they looked at the vendor, and the vendor said, "What's wrong? You've never had a hot dog before?" And they go, "Oh yeah, we've eaten dog before, but we never this part." I'm gonna play for you one of the newer flutes that are going around Native America, Indian country. tell you a lesson about Mrs. Begay. Mrs. Begay was a rug weaver. Wove these beautiful rugs. While she was weaving her beautiful rug with the yarn that she gathered from her sheep, she would weave her rug and she would weave it in and out and over and around, weaving her rug. And while she wove her rug, this big mosquito came. This big mosquito came and would buzz around Mrs. Begay's neck and buzz around Mrs. Begay's nose and buzz around her ears, so much so that she couldn't weave her rug. She said, you know, the next time that mosquito comes, I'm going to get it, because she needed to weave her rug and not be disturbed. And oh yes, the mosquito comes back. And it buzzed around her ears, and it buzzed around her nose, and buzzed around her neck. And as it was coming towards her, as it got closer and closer, buzzing around Mrs. Begay's face, she clapped her hands. And when she did, she got it. And there's a lesson of Mrs. Begay and the mosquito. My brother wasn't feeling very well, and he called up the company and said, you know, I'm not feeling very good. Today I'm a little sick. I'm not going to be able to come in. And the boss said, you know, when I feel like that, when I get that kind of feeling, I make mad, passionate love with my wife. It fixes me. Later that afternoon, my brother got back into work, and the boss goes, oh, you're all better? Wow, you took my advice? He said, yeah, and you have a beautiful house, too. I'm going to play for you one of the rarest flutes. Unfortunately, right now I'm the only one that I know that knows how to make and play this flute. The interesting thing about this flute is that you have to look at me rather closely in order to hear it. It has been found all over the world, in Micronesia, Polynesia, Melanesia, North and South America, Africa. But the people that know how to make and play this flute have faded away. And unfortunately, as I said, right now I'm the only one that I know that knows how to make and play this flute. And here is what it looks like. A nose flute is called a nose flute, and it is played by breathing through your nose. We know that it had been played here in the Americas because in some of the anthropological books, there's references to the nose flutes. And even though it had been forbidden to play flutes, in Hawaii, the Native American Hawaiian people are bringing back their nose flutes. They played a little different than I played this one, but it's still played through the nose. Nose flute. Oh, nose flute. Thank you. Welcome to Seeds.